Welcome back, everyone. Today's tutorial covers GoSTEM's Creative Computing Kit, lesson number 4. And that's titled, Nevertheless, They Persevered. And this lesson, like the others, is adapted from the Computer Science in San Francisco curriculum. And the objective for the lesson today is that students will follow one or more origami algorithms with perseverance. The materials that you'll need for this lesson include the lesson itself, which is located in your binder, and then the book titled Morigami by Dory Klaber, and then some finished and in-process origami samples. The in-process ones over here, the ones that maybe there's some mistakes made, are important to show your students to know that this skill takes practice and perseverance. And then you'll need some origami algorithms. Here's some more simple ones, making envelopes here, a fox face, and a cup. And then of course you'll need some origami paper. And then you'll want to finish up with your computer science badge chart to celebrate what they've learned today. All right, welcome your students back to Creative Computing, where you are all on a journey to explore how to use the power of computers to solve problems and to express ourselves. So last time, remind your students that you all practiced putting handshake moves into specific sequences. Now today, we're going to use step-by-step sequences to finish a task. And using sequences to finish a task is called an algorithm. And you might have guessed it, yes, algorithm is our word of the day. You might want to have your students repeat that word. It's kind of a tricky one, algorithm. And maybe consider every time your students hear the word algorithm, they wiggle their fingers. To warm up your students, ask them to give you a thumbs up if they have ever seen folded shapes of paper like these. And that will give you a sense of if your students have any prior experience with origami. And this kind of art, let them know, is called origami. And origami is a Japanese art of folding paper into shapes. It's amazing what kind of shapes we can make out of paper. And as you can see, some of the shapes look pretty good, but be sure to point out some of those that don't look so great and that they can see that they need a little bit of help. And it's totally fine that some of these need a little bit of help, because I know if I practice, each time I'm going to improve. Now, after introducing them to some of the shapes, you'll want to have some time to read a book. Read a wonderful book called Morigami. And this book was written by Dory Klaber and illustrated by Brian Karras. And this book shows us why it's so important to persevere when we're learning something new. And it just so happens Joey in this book is learning how to do origami. And then after reading the book, share that learning computer science and learning origami, they're actually fairly similar because they both require something called perseverance. And perseverance is continuing to try to do whatever task we're trying, even though things get hard, or maybe even we fail, and also maybe something or someone stands in our way. Today we're focusing on how computers follow a list of steps to complete a task. And those lists of steps to complete a task is called an algorithm. We can wiggle our fingers. So we're going to follow algorithms to do origami. So just like Joey from Morigami, we are going to practice making origami objects by following step-by-step directions. So you're going to want to begin with your students by doing 1, 2, or 3 origami algorithms together. So a nice one to begin with is this envelope algorithm. It's a pretty simple one. And if the algorithms that we include in your kit don't necessarily work for you for some reason, there are a lot of algorithms for origami online. You can check them out and find ones that work for you and your students. Then after doing one or a few origami algorithms together, allow the students to choose their own design and challenge them to do their design without any adult help. So it may feel challenging, but just remember that it takes practice. So encourage children, however, without adult help, to help each other. Encourage students to sit together if they're making the same origami shape. And when a detail is missed, you can prompt the students to help each other debug their algorithm. And educators, we really encourage you to let your students choose their own shapes and do as many as they can. The learning is really in following the algorithms step by step. So the more algorithms they practice, the better. Also, if students want to create their own algorithm, be sure to encourage them to do so. And then after some experience with algorithms and origami, you might want to set up an origami station somewhere in your classroom, maybe as a center's activity, so that they can keep practicing their skills and keep persevering. As you move to the end of your lesson, after the students have had some good time to practice their origami algorithms, you're gonna maybe want to consider having them join in a circle, maybe seated or standing with their origami algorithms, their shapes in hand, and have each student showcase what they worked on. And while students are sharing what they worked on, you might want to ask them some questions like, what origami algorithm did you work on today? And also, what part was hard? And how did you practice perseverance? And if students added on to their algorithm, you might want to ask them about what they did and what shape they have now. Or if they completed a completely new algorithm, ask them about that process too. And then remind the students that algorithms are a sequence of steps to complete a task. And today the students practiced algorithms using origami with perseverance. They persevered so much. And that perseverance is continuing to try even when things get hard. So now let's look at their badge chart to celebrate all the things they learned today. So today you get to make a check mark or a star in the algorithms column because all the students earned their algorithms badge today. And educators, don't forget that in the kit you have a grab and go card for this lesson so that you have an at-a-glance view of the lesson to carry with you. So that's it for lesson 4. Thank you for watching.